Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I am your host, Neil Johnson. I am so excited to be with you. People, this just, oh, man, we can't stop winning on the Second Amendment. I mean, the court is finally getting this issue right, and they had gotten it wrong for so long. This story is fantastic. I'm going to take you through a couple other wins that led up to this win. It's huge. It's awesome. Woo! I'm just jacked about this. I am, because, man, if there's one thing, I know why the founders put the Second Amendment in there. The second was to protect the first. Okay, we have a corrupt DOJ, a corrupt FBI. We have corrupt federal agencies all over the place. And this Second Amendment was not designed for hunting as much as I love to hunt. Good to see you, eyes on you always. Hey, smash that like as you come in, and please do chat it up with where you're from. This is awesome. Okay. I'm so jacked about that. Sorry, I can't help it. Look, people, I just went through a whole litany of wins, and more wins. And by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this, but at the Philadelphia Eagles game, Jill Biden was there. And do you know what she was greeted with? Chats, hey Lisa, good to see you on. Chats of, yeah, let's go Brandon, except the less polite way of saying it. Now, it was interesting because I was watching it. I got to admit, I'm not that crass. I don't like using that kind of language or stuff. But think about the fact that we have a president right now that is so bad. I've never seen anything like this, where people are using the Effenheimer everywhere he shows up and his name in concert with it. It's absolutely wild. And yet he got, well, how many? What is it? 81 million? Anyways, here's MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack will save you up to 66%. And also, Move Bumpers, people. Man, support, Move Bumpers, man. If you want to build a really cool thing with your kids, that's what I did. MoveBumpers.com, promo code Lumberjack there, too. Will save you. It's a put-together kit. But anyways, that doesn't matter. I got to tell you about all these wins. Okay, so today, a federal judge has made another major ruling on the Second Amendment that leaves the Biden administration fuming. This out of the Republic Brief. Democrat Joe Biden is a multi-term time loser in court, as news reports and court documents show that this is a Democrat-appointed judge, people. Bill Clinton appointed judge. Sling a smicky smackdown on him, okay? Hey, thanks so much, eyes on you always. Yes, thank you. You guys always support my sponsors. Thank you for that, okay? Seriously. Okay. A Democrat-appointed judge has blocked federal law banning the possession of firearms with serial numbers removed. Now, people, you don't understand. I'm going to explain why this is even bigger than what you're hearing in this report, because it's bigger than just having serial numbers removed. And this is going to go on to their whole quote-unquote ghost guns and all of it, because they're saying, hey, if you build your own gun, that's a ghost gun, like it's woo. Like what, is it like Casper the Ghost wears a white sheet or something? No, that's Democrats. That's their hats at a rally. Anyways, I can't. Folks, I'm just jacked about this. I seriously am. Because I'm going to just take you back. Here, I want to bring you back to it's been nonstop winning in the courts on the Second Amendment, as it should be, because the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay? The Second Amendment, right? The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's not for deer hunting. It's not solely for the sake of militia. Yes, a well-regulated militia is necessary, but a well-regulated militia is the citizenry of the United States. Okay, but here, check this out. Okay, there was a big ruling today, but I want to just take you back in time real quick. Okay, back in June, remember the federal judge in Texas hands down a win over the Second Amendment about legal age. On September 1st, 2021, Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill into law that made Texas the 21st state in the U.S. to allow constitutional carry. Law-abiding individuals 21 and older are now able to carry concealed in the Lone Star State without a permit. Okay? On Thursday, a federal judge in Fort Worth ruled that a Texas law banning 18 to 20-year-old adults from carrying concealed handguns was unconstitutional. So that happened in June. You with me? Don't worry, we're going to get to the one today, but I just want to give you, this is all leading up to this. Okay, I'm going to give you the one, and that's October. I want to go back one, this is going to be October as well, because this is No, this is June. I'm going to go back to another June again. Supreme Court says Constitution protects rights to carry a gun outside the home. Now, this is a CNN article, and so you're going to be able to hear them whining and complaining. Hey, somebody just sent me another super sticker. Thanks so much for that. You guys are awesome. Okay, the Second Amendment, the Supreme Court struck down a New York gun law enacted more than a century ago that places restrictions on carrying a concealed handgun outside the home. Okay, so that was the first win in New York that then caused New York to issue more gun laws, which the Supreme Court struck down again just recently. And then came the Massachusetts victory. From October 5th, out of the Washington Examiner, in the months since the 6-3 conservative majority on the Supreme Court expanded gun possession rights and weakened states' ability to limit the carrying of guns in public spaces, the High Court has identified several cases in need of rehearing in light of the new precedent. This week, the Supreme Court ordered a lower court in Massachusetts to vacate its ruling on the state's gun control law and reconsider the case Morin versus Liver. At issue is a state law imposing a lifetime ban on purchasing handguns on anyone convicted, of nonviolent misdemeanors involving the possession or use of guns. So, see, Massachusetts wanted to put a lifetime ban, on people convicted on nonviolent misdemeanors involving the possession or use of guns. So think about the idiocy of this. So that could be something as simple as they didn't have their permit with them at the time, and because, of the whole concealed carry permit thing. But we're going to see constitutional carry. You watch this because the Supreme Court is constantly going back to original text of the Second Amendment on all these cases. Now, here's the big one from today. And all these are leading up to it. But this one from today, you're going to see how this is even bigger. I'll explain. So Democrat Joe Biden is a multi-time loser in court. Okay, I read that already. A district judge ruled against a federal law prohibiting people from possessing firearms with serial numbers that have been altered, obliterated, or removed. The decision will likely lead to further successful challenges to the Democrats' plan for further gun grabs, leading to fury from the Marxist left. Okay, now interestingly enough, I looked all around. Man, no liberal media wants to talk about this ruling right now because I'm trying to find it anywhere else, right? I was trying to find like some liberal slants on this so I could give you their whining and weeping and wailing, because I guarantee you it's going on right now. Gun control groups are out there. Oh, it's just another assault on us, and the safety of our citizens. Okay, no. Actually, it has been proven time and time again that when you have more people carrying guns, actually, it's safer, More law-abiding gun owners carrying guns is actually good. Hands down. Every city, whether it's New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, where they have the largest restrictions on guns, produces more gun crime, more violent gun crime, This is such a great report. Just smash the like. Not even for me, but just for the ruling in the court, and it will help get this video out there. According to reports last week, U.S. District Judge Joseph Goodwin in Charleston, West Virginia, ruled that a federal ban on guns without a serial number or with a serial number removed is unconstitutional in the first such ruling since the U.S. Supreme Court upheld broader gun rights in a June ruling, which I already read to you, John Doherty reported for conservative Bribes. According to Goodwin's bio, Joseph Goodwin is an Article 3 federal judge for the United States District Court for the Southern District of West Virginia. He joined the court in 1995 after being nominated by President Bill Clinton. Goodwin served as chief judge of the court from 2007 to 2012. Doherty pointed out that Goodwin ruled on Wednesday that the ban was inconsistent with the United States' historical tradition of firearm regulation, which is a new standard for deciding Second Amendment cases that the Supreme Court laid out over the summer. Reuters reported, adding more details. The decision came in a criminal case charging a man, listen to this is what's so interesting about it, in a criminal case charging a man, Randy Price, with illegally possessing a gun with the serial number removed that was found in his car. The judge dismissed that charge, though Price is still charged with illegally possessing the gun after being convicted of previous felonies. So there you go. He's a felon, okay? He can be charged for possessing the gun, but not for the lack of a serial number. And why is this so important? Because many people, so if you know, there people, you can go out there and order gun parts and make your own gun, right? Well, you should be able to do that. You're a freedom-loving American citizen. You have, every right to keep and bear arms and so on. So people go out and they might order, a lower receiver that's not milled. They mill that out themselves. That's a common thing that people do, and that will not have a serial number on it. Okay, but if they are able to possess, and what's interesting is, these were all defined rules by the ATF. It's 80% lowers. There's been all kinds of stories about this because the Biden administration was so upset about ghost guns. Okay, Casper the ghost guns, wearing the white hats like the Democrats at their rallies that are 3 letters, all the same. Anyways, but the fact of the matter is that those guns are just somebody just making something. Okay. They just make it. It's parts and pieces, okay? That's the thing. An AR-15 is basically a modular gun that you can interchange and swap pieces all over the place. Well, so what this is saying is not only can it not be altered, but if it doesn't have a serial number, well, that's it. You see what I'm saying? They can't charge you for that, because what they did, see, the Biden administration was trying through the ATF to basically do executive orders and whatnot. Now, see, and I need to explain something here. Executive orders, people, if you understand their actual intent and what they're for, are actually good. So here's what an executive order would be for, is the executive, which would be the president or the governor in a state, administering law or administering rules to the organization. So like the ATF, you have to wear, let's just give something arbitrary, like you have to wear blue pants on Friday. Okay, that would be an executive order. The executive says this is what the employees have to do. It's not for you, people. It's not for you, the citizens. It's not for you that they actually have to make laws that go through Congress. And remember this, I'm just a bill up on Capitol Hill. Yeah, I'm only a bill, right? Schoolhouse rocks. So, a bill is not a law. A bill becomes a law when it's signed into law as it passes the whole of Congress and the Senate, okay? And then what it has to pass constitutional muster through the courts, because the courts are not there. This is so easy. Why do Democrats always try and trick you on this stuff, okay? Then what the Supreme Court, which is supposed to be non-biased, non-partisan, okay? That's why we shouldn't have to worry whether they're appointed by a Republican or a Democrat or an independent for that matter. We shouldn't have to worry about that, because what it should be is they are just arbiters of the law. Okay? They simply look at things with a blank slate and they say, well, this is the law, but does it pass constitutional muster? Is it in violation of the Second Amendment, which is the highest law? U.S. Code is not higher than the Constitution, nor are executive orders. In fact, executive orders, like I just explained, they're for managing the executive branch, the executive agencies, So, anyways, did I explain that well? I tell you, sometimes I was so jacked going into this and I get so worked up. But do you guys all get that? Did I explain that well? Basically, the court is simply to say, oh my gosh, this law doesn't pass constitutional muster, so it's out, okay? Now, in the case of activism, which they did Roe v. Wade, they're trying to make law from the bench, which was never enshrined in the Constitution, okay? So that's the issue. All right, so serial numbers, first required by the Federal Gun Control Act of 1968, are intended to prevent illegal gun sales and make it easier to solve crimes by allowing individuals' guns to be traced. During oral arguments, Price said the law violates, okay, pay attention, during oral arguments, Price said the law violates the Constitution following the U.S. Supreme Court's June 24th ruling in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, which held that under the Second Amendment, the federal government is barred from restricting a citizen's right to possess firearms unless the restriction meets the standard of historical tradition. In Bruin, since serial numbers were not required to be placed on firearms when the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791, and were only required after the passage of the 1968 law, they are outside of the historical tradition guideline. The High Court's June ruling was its most significant pro-Second Amendment decision in nearly 2 decades, when justices ruled 6-3 that New York's concealed carry law was unconstitutionally restrictive. Okay, so I was talking about that back then and all the good things that would come of that, okay? And so here it is. These great rulings continue to come because they're setting precedent based off the original intent of the Constitution. Do you guys understand how big this is? Okay? This is massive. All right? This is how we're going to get our country back. And this is why it was so imperative and so important that Trump appointed justices during his time in office, and why it is so imperative and so important to get Trump or someone like him back in office, depending upon who runs next time. Okay, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think it's fairly safe to say Trump's going to run again. But somebody who will appoint justices who are not activists, who aren't trying to rewrite law, but who are willing to simply say, wait, the law is what it is, Congress has to change law, or we have to get a new constitutional amendment. And the thing with an amendment to the Constitution is it takes what, people? What? Let's see if anybody knows this, if they followed Schoolhouse Rocks and know what kind of vote it takes to get a constitutional amendment. An amendment to the Constitution, what kind of vote do you need to make that happen, people? What kind of vote do you need to make that happen? I want to see this in the chat. I'm just waiting on this, okay? Because that's what needs to take place here, okay? For them to rewrite the Constitution or to pass new laws under the Constitution. Man, there has got to be somebody out there who knows this. I love you people, and I know my audience well enough. I've got the best audience in America. You are smart people, okay? 2/3, there it is, Mike. Let us talk. 2/3, that's right. It takes a 2/3 majority. It takes a super majority. So it's not easy to amend the Constitution. Now, you can also amend the Constitution through a convention of states, right? So there's other ways, but it takes a supermajority, a 2/3 majority, to amend the Constitution. All right? So it takes 2/3 of the House, but it also takes the Senate as well to get that passed, is my understanding. Correct? Anyways, somebody can correct me on that. I know it takes 2/3. I'm pretty sure it takes 2/3 in the Senate. You need a supermajority in each case to get that thing through to be ratified in the law. Okay? So I'm just flat fired up about this ruling. You should be too, and it should give you hope. And there's more good news coming, people. In fact, I'm gonna cut this video. I'm gonna do another live tonight, so please join me on that. I will do another live stream within the next half hour. I've got some really, really great news again, but I want to keep this one to this one subject so you can share it around with people, all right? And please do support my sponsor, MyPillow. He also has my store. So MyPillow or MyStore.com, promo code Lumberjack will save you up to 66%. That coffee's awesome, the pillows are awesome, and we are winning. Keep fighting the good fight, people. Do not lose heart on this one. You're going to see massive changes coming down the pike because the Democrats have pushed it too far. Yes, 3/4 states must be ratified, okay? So that'd be a convention of the states, okay? Anyways, I love y'all. You're awesome, awesome people, all right? Peace out.